right. Great day, great day, great day. It's me. It's me. Let me flip my necklace. Welcome guys to the first episode of Confessions of a King. I'm coming back with a lot of new content and as you see I'm wearing my AHF Speak Out t-shirt. I made a video about this on my TikTok, so I'm gonna post that on here as well. But just posted on here already, so just to give you guys, I want to talk about something that's really important, which is being tested. A part of my Confessions of a King is just talking more detail about just what it's like and the resources that are out there to help you. September 15th marks 9 years I've been HIV positive. September 15th is, no, September 4th, excuse me. September the 14th. I found out the day before my birthday. I found out the day before my 30th birthday, and it definitely shook me up. It was stressful. The process was stressful because I didn't have family to hold my hand or to hug me or to comfort me. Hit that back. I got a couple of phone calls. People just offering their love. And it was from my elders. A great aunt and a great uncle reached out to me, and other than that, like, the main person that was with me through this part in family in person was my daddy. Because my daddy came to my first appointment to show support, but also to get information so he could be abreast to what I was going to end up dealing with, which I am really grateful that he was there for my first appointment. I'll always be grateful. But I noticed a lot with different people, they were taking my situation and making it theirs. And it's crazy because y'all are all having these conversations and talking about it, but nobody's reaching out to me to see how I was feeling. So I had a lot of support from my friends. They definitely made it to where they understood. So when the crying, the frustration, they made sure that I was okay. And it's something that I'm grateful for, because when I just had my daddy, my friends stepped up to support us and pray with us and go through it with us, I think a lot of misconceptions that people think that it's just something that, something that's not a big deal, and it's something that really only gay people get, and that's not even what it is. I've met a numerous amount of people, straight females, who are living with it because their partner didn't tell them the truth, which is something that has to be talked about in this community. We have opportunities to do better. We have to just make the steps to do so. AHF has meant a lot to me these last couple of years, especially once I moved to Atlanta from Orlando, Florida. They got me on the right track, got me on the right medicines, got me in therapy. My therapist got me with a psychiatrist, getting my medicine on time. Me, it's hard to get it in person because, well, at first it was hard because I wasn't going to therapy at first, but what made it a lot better was that they were mailing my medicine to me, and they would just give a simple phone call, hey, ready for your refill, that was my refill, and then that was that. And I got it on the regular like I was supposed to. The doctors assist you with accountability. They assist you with, which is difficult for me because it's like, I don't be wanting to deal with doctors, but they remind me that even, because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm not active sexually no more. I really just be chilling at this point. I be wanting to, but I just be chilling. But even if you're not active, it's always important for you to put your health first and take care of yourself. Maybe this is again Confessions of a King, so I'm gonna reveal a couple of things. Let me take my hat off. This is hats that are gonna be on the way soon. Oh boy. I've had times in my life where, in these 8-9 years, where I didn't take my medicine because, let me just take all this off, where I wasn't taking my medicine because I'm like, it is such a struggle when you have to look at this one pill and that is the only thing keeping you alive. Your life is dependent on a pill bottle. And then even with that, these medicines cost like $13, $14, $1,500 for a 3-day supply. So it's like, to look and see that your life is worth that much when you feel like you've given so much more than that, it's a lot to process mentally. But thankfully, through conversation with my doctor, she convinced me to go into therapy. So, and then even with therapy, going to see my therapist and realizing that, okay, I'm doing the work, but I need more help. That's when we went into going to psychiatry and doing doing more precautious methods, where I started antidepressants during the daytime and then for sleep. And they definitely were supportive. The psychiatrist was amazing, made me feel comfortable. My therapist is amazing, makes me feel comfortable. My doctors, all that I've experienced, have made me feel so comfortable. And they've created this safe space for me where I can be myself and I can be honest when I'm in those moments and saying, this is what I'm dealing with. And instead of judging or throwing a book at me, they really sit there and say, okay, Russell, let's work this out. Let's go through the who, what, when, where, whys, and what we're going to do to get you back on track, you know? And grateful. And I think that dealing with a lot of stigmas that because mind you, I'm very upfront and honest about my status with whoever I'm dealing with. I'm very upfront about my status, and I feel like I have to be, because I don't want to do this no matter what's done to me. And I care about people a lot. So, yeah, I don't want to do what was done to me. So I'm very upfront to give a person an opportunity. Even on dating websites, I always had my status on there, so people knew what they was getting into. But even over the years, I've noticed, even on dating apps, you come across some trashy ass individuals. People who got girlfriends and will want to mess with you knowing that you're positive. Not even knowing if you take your medicine or not. They never ask those questions. They're just trying to get their rocks off. So that's why I say that it is important to take preventative measures to protect yourself and make sure that you're okay. To make sure that you're up to date on whatever medicines that you're taking. To make sure that you're up to date on whatever your doctor is telling you, educational resources, knowing what's going on. And the thing about it is expensive. However, the social workers help guide you through it to where in a lot of instances, you're not really paying anything. They have the resources. You just have to reach out and say, I need the help. I remember one time I was struggling with groceries, and I was telling I think it was my doctor or my therapist, probably but one of them two, because they always are looking out for me. And they got me in with a social worker then. Hey, this is what patient's going through, you know, what can we do? And she pulled me, had me fill out a bunch of paperwork, and we got it done. And I remember I walked out with a gift card to go to Kroger's and get groceries that I needed. And it's just, that's the kind of place that is needed. And it took me having to put pride aside. You got to really put pride aside and say, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. Because living is more important than pride. That's the only way I say. Living is more important than staying stuck and dying in pride. That's my take on it, you know? It's a difficult thing, but it doesn't have to be difficult. And they make sure that they are a help. They are a help. and they are support. And all it takes is for you to sit there and make the decision to say, all right, I'm ready to get the help. And that's for those of us that have it, or just finding out that we have it. But for those who don't have it, it is always good to be preventative and to make sure that you're protecting yourself. Because I said it before, protecting yourself is how we protect others. Because when you don't protect yourself, that's when we put others in danger. I just seen on an article that was sent to me where a preacher who ended up being a pedophile, just a lot going on, he was messing with a 14-year-old boy. And he had been kicking it with the boy a couple of times, and he was HIV positive and was messing with this boy without protection. And they ended up giving the boy this cocktail of medications that's supposed to prevent it or protect him so he doesn't get it. But sometimes it doesn't take immediate for you to find out that you have it. Sometimes it does take a while. You know? Sometimes it does take a while for it to hit your system, and to show up. So this young man, his life doesn't just, this cocktail doesn't solve anything. He's going to have to continue to get blood work done. He's going to continue to get tested. And even with that, we don't know. And they say like it works if the contact happened within 30 days. But the thing about it is they're saying they've been messing around. They messed around a couple of times. So it's kind of like, y'all been kicking it heavy. And part of me is like, there's so many people who need accountability. Mainly the guy who has it, because you have a responsibility and you really fucked with this little boy's life. You really fucked up this little boy's life. That's what's not right. And that's what's not fair. And I think that the individual is a disgusting individual. The parents, where were you? Where were you where you didn't check up on your child? We don't live in a world where it's safe for you to let your kids go anywhere with anybody, especially somebody you don't know. And now look where this boy isn't. This boy, even though they're protecting his privacy, this boy is a article, and he shouldn't have to go through that. He shouldn't have to go through it, you know. So, parents, when you're talking to your kids about condoms, you guys have to also talk about, like, there's more things out there scarier than getting pregnant or getting somebody pregnant. There's a lot of things scarier than that. Because your child's stuck for the rest of your life, right? Right. But child support only lasts for 18 years, sweetheart. So even child support stops, but HIV doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. And if you don't control it, then you're not going to be here much longer. But yeah, that's just kind of how that goes. I want to talk about this. Is really important to me. I want everybody to take the time to put yourself first and get yourself tested. Get tested on a regular. Again, I keep saying preventative measures because it's important too. They have medications that you can take to protect you, so you're always a step ahead. You know, I've always said this: you can't trust you can't, baby. If you don't trust anybody, trust yourself. Because I know back in my whole days, I could do a lot in about 10, 15 minutes. 5, depending on what it is. You know? But it's just time. Yeah, it's just time. So I definitely recommend you guys doing your research, doing due diligence, Look at this as the opportunity for a resource. And this is the first episode of Confessions of a King to talk about this, and I wanted to highlight this today. But there's more to come with Confessions of a King. I'm going to talk about more things I've experienced in more depth. I spend so much time protecting other people and protecting optics. That's out the window. It's time for you guys to get to know me on, oh, that hurt. It's time for you guys to get to know me on a deeper level. And this is, my story is my legacy. And I refuse to leave here with people not knowing who I really was or am. So let's get ready. It's about to be a journey. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to go into prayer. It's going to be a great time. But this is my welcome back. I'm back. So welcome officially to Confessions of a King. I love you all, and I will talk to you soon.